All right, my friends, welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and today, you know, guys, I hooked the freaking 4070 Super up to my freaking ultra-wide monitor. As you can see, I kind of changed them. I put the LG C2 over there. I put the 39-inch LG ultra-wide monitor over here, so that I could essentially test out the 4070 Super on the ultra wide. And I gotta tell you guys, I am kind of impressed. And I sat here today for a little while. I put that video out earlier, and I sat here for a little while, and I'm sitting here thinking about the experience that you get from an Nvidia GPU. Now, I have a hard time realizing that a lot of you guys, well, a lot of the influence out there is mainly focused and featured around Nvidia. And I mean, that's pretty apparent however you see it. Now, whether this is AMD's fault or whether AMD just doesn't have the money to push marketing or whatever you know what I mean? Like that's an AMD problem, okay? That's AMD's problem, that's Nvidia's problem, whatever. The fact of the matter is had I never tried AMD, I would have never known exactly what I liked from PC gaming. Now, I eventually plan on testing out the Intel GPUs as well, because I want to be well-rounded when it comes to this. Now, I've never claimed to be a PC expert or tech expert or anything like that. I've always said, and I've always maintained this, I'm a consumer just like you. I get hyped in the same way you do, and I buy things out of hype or out of, you know, because I see something and it looks interesting and I want to try it, and I find myself in a position to where that is, it's not like super easy, but it's not unattainable, like, so to speak. You know, I get up, I go to work, I work my job Monday through Friday, and then I come home, I spend time with the family, I make content, I do regular things like a regular person, but I do tend to spend a lot of time gaming, and like that does take up a lot of time. So I do get it, guys. Like, I understand there's a lot of marketing out there. When you get on places like Best Buy or you go somewhere, you know, there's a flood. Like, for every 100 pre-built, maybe one of those is an AMD. You know, for laptops, you see all the Nvidia laptops out there. Like, there's a lot of marketing for Nvidia, and, you know, they do it very well. So I don't blame anybody for not knowing that AMD is a, you know, is an option, so to speak. But if you look at it this way, Kay, most of I know that you guys don't like it when I go against other content creators, and I don't really like doing it either. It is what it is, you know. I mean, obviously, you know, they all prefer the Nvidia experience, and they all get the free Nvidia GPUs, so they don't have to pay for them. They get the best, they get to the top of the line. Their gaming habits are satiated completely by Nvidia, and they don't even have to worry about having the newest, latest, and greatest before it even launches for us to buy. And so, yeah, guys, when I was mad because here's the thing. I had fully planned to buy a 5080 GPU the day they launched. I was like, yep, I'm going to get in line. I'm going to try to get one of these cards. And, you know, honestly, for the amount of content that I would have been able to create utilizing that 5080 would have been like, wow, you know, I could finally. And this was, I'm going to be honest with you. This was my honest plan. I was like, all right, I'm going to 100% have two builds. One's going to be Nvidia, one's going to be AMD, and I am going to 100% go and learn the Nvidia experience the best I can and try to fully understand and enjoy that experience to the fullest, like I do with AMD. Like, I'm 100% satisfied with the AMD experience. Like, it is good enough for me to be like, wow, dude, I could absolutely game on this forever. But then I look back at all the years that I spent as a console gamer, not even knowing that PC existed, or knowing that it existed, but always just thinking that like, oh man, that's just too expensive. There's too many problems with it. You know, you hear all the war stories about you got to do the drivers and blah, blah, blah. And like my biggest thing was, can I use a controller with it? That was probably my biggest thing, is I was like, I don't ever want to do the mouse and keyboard. And lo and behold, like, yeah, you can literally use a controller on basically everything. On, you know, you'll know if it's a keyboard and mouse only game, but even with Steam, you know, you can get in there with Steam and it will like convert it will convert the experience over to a controller, so you can essentially use a controller on basically everything. And if not, there's mods and stuff like that out there that you'd be able to find. So it's like I lived 37 years of my life console gaming when there was something that could have fulfilled that experience for me even better, you know? And so when and that's the way I'm trying to get back to when it comes to PC gaming, because let's face it, man, it's really like competitive out there. And so when you make content for like say, like, cause I'm an AMD fan or whatever, I mean, I guess you could say I'm an AMD fanboy. I don't know. Like, I don't feel like I am, but you know, I do make content pertaining to AMD the majority of the time, because that's what I've had for the last 19 months, almost 20 months now. I've been on the AMD platform, and I don't regret one day of that. But I do regret not always having access to an Nvidia GPU. I do. I'll get to like a certain experience and I'll be like, okay, I wish that I could see what this is like on Nvidia. And now I've got that experience. I've got a 4070 Super, and like I said, I put it on the 1440p or on the 3440 by 1440p OLED today, and I'm sitting there and I'm playing games, you know, like Star Wars Outlaws and, you know, some Assassin's Creed Odyssey, obviously some Cyberpunk, Alan Wake, all of these different games. I'm sitting here and I'm checking them out, and I'm like, you know what, man, this experience is pretty good. And then I obviously made that video toying around with some FSR while I'm playing on the Nvidia card, and I'm like, wow, this actually pretty much gives me that experience. So I do think that there's a difference between the experiences. I definitely do. Some people, you know, in the comment section are already telling me that they just can't deal with the shimmering. And I get it, man. I get it. Like, if that's like something that like really, really bothers you, I'm not gonna try to argue, you know, that you're wrong. Like that would be like the same thing that you guys are doing to me, trying to tell me that I'm wrong for liking AMD. And I don't think you're wrong. Like, I literally do not think you're wrong. Do I think some of it is like, I definitely feel like it is way overblown with the whole shimmering and all of that stuff, because when I look at it and I flip back and forth between the two and I'm looking at it and I'm like, dude, it's not even that bad. Like, to me, if it feels like it's like, oh my gosh, if you guys see like any flicker, any shimmer at all, instant trash, it's no good, it's just complete garbage. And I'm like, man, there's no way that PC gamers can be that damn bougie. But you got to understand, man, I was a console gamer for 37 years before finally coming to PC. And, you know, looking back at that time and now looking forward and looking at what I've got on my screen now, you got to understand, guys, it is significantly better than anything I'd ever gotten on console before. Okay? Significantly better. And I've only been doing PC gaming for almost 3 years now. So I've still got like that honeymoon phase of like coming from console to PC. Like, I can deal with some of that stuff still, whereas like some of you guys have been doing PC gaming for so long that I get it. You know, you spent thousands of dollars on PC equipment over the years, and now you demand excellence. And you know, guys, I guess maybe I'm just a lot more like, I'm a lot more like forgiving or easygoing when it comes to this kind of stuff, because at the end of the day, it's literally just video games. But I mean, I get it. You know, I love video games just as much as the next person, but at the end of the day, it really is just video games. And so when I look at that and I experience that and I'm playing around in these games, and then I get the comments that I get, you know, it's like, it's crazy to me that you guys would be, it's crazy to always hear that I just want AMD to compete. But then when they do compete, you don't give them any credit for anything they do, even though that I bought like a 4080 Super, a 4070, a 4070 Super, and now another 4070 Super. I bought a 7600 XT, a 7800 XT, 7900 XT, and then the XTX. I bought multiple freaking cards and I tested them all. And I'm like, wow, dude, like the experience is so much, like it's so close. Honestly, guys, the only thing that really separates these cards is like shimmer and some ray tracing, because you can get pretty decent ray tracing on AMD cards. You just can't get the ones that are like Nvidia branded optimized. Like those ones definitely suck. When you try to do path tracing on an AMD card, it really doesn't, it really is hard. Like you really got to drop down to like ultra performance at 1080p in order to get that path tracing and stuff. And as long as you got like a 1080p monitor or something, like it doesn't look horrible. But yeah, you are literally dropping significantly lower in resolution just to play that. But I mean, it is possible, but definitely in Nvidia, even this 4070 Super does path tracing better than, I would say better than and slightly on par with, well, I mean, if you're using frame generation and 1080p, stuff like that. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like the Nvidia cards definitely do it better. And hopefully AMD can get with the program and potentially bring that level of support to their next cards. But when it comes to the 9070 XT, guys, I think that card is going to be a turning point for AMD. I do. I think that this is AMD's opportunity to like really come out and be like, look, man, we got a good card. It's competitively priced and it has good features like everybody's asking for. Everybody's like, I want better ray tracing and AI upscaling, all of that. So they're bringing that. And so this is their opportunity to be like, okay, we're going to price these at a point where they're affordable enough to where we can potentially take some of that market share. And to be completely honest with you guys, after looking at FSR3 running on Cyberpunk tonight and then switching back between them both, if they can kill that shimmer, I think they've got a winner, man, because that's literally the only thing that everybody keeps telling me is that damn shimmer. And I'm like, okay, so we'll find out if the goalposts are going to move again. We'll see if the goalposts move again. But as it sits, man, like I'm pretty happy with the AMD, and I really would like to see them be successful, because we need stronger competition. Because right now what's going on, dude, after being so mad that I couldn't get a 5080, and I'm still mad. Like I'm still mad about it, that I couldn't get a 5080. I'm like, this absolutely sucks, man, because when you see something like that and you get your heart set on it and you want to make content and all of that stuff, and then you can't get it, like I was mad. I was pretty damn mad. I'm actually still pretty dang upset about it. And then I see all the content creators out there, they got them free and they're creating that content that I wanted to create. And now I can't do it. And by the time I could actually get one, well, it's not even going to matter. Like, it's not even going to matter anymore. Like, I have zero access to being able to cover that. And by the time I actually get one, it won't even matter, because every video idea I have has already been made. So it sucks. It definitely sucks. So, all right, my friends, if you guys like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.